psychotherapist, mom, and human who has lived through the messiness of life and learned a few things along the way. I teach this stuff. So I decided to create a podcast called The Authenticity Mindset, where we can talk about the truth, take action, and get inspired. Are you ready to join the community? Let's go. Hello, hello. Welcome to Monday, guys. I'm so excited. We're going to talk about self-doubt. Let's just get right in it. We're going to talk about those inner fears and those inner critics that are doubting yourself, that are going like a railroad through your brain at all times, right? We all have it. It's normal. That's the first thing to know is that it's totally normal to be out here living life, doing our thing, trying our best, succeeding, maybe feeling like you're killing it, right? In terms of everything that you're accomplishing and everything that you're doing. And yet, that inner critic just won't stop. Are you sure? Couldn't you have done that better? Did you really need to say it that way? What if something bad happens? The inner critic inside of us is part of being a human being. It is by nature part of our conditioning that helps keep us safe. And I know that that's really frustrating for people to understand is how could something that is so incessant and feels so negative be in fact protecting me and encouraging my survival? But the truth of the matter is that sometimes that voice gets us out of a jam and sometimes it helps guide us in the direction of clarity and taking a pause when we need to, right? To sort of double think things through. And so I think that it's important to understand that if our brain is protecting us at all times, like truly, let's go there. Regardless of the traumas, regardless of the bad things that may have happened in your life, regardless of the struggles and the difficulties, if we take on the assumption that our brain is always protecting us, by even feeding us some of these doubts and insecurities, that alone is step one, because that means that things are coming from a good place, that we're being encouraged to be okay, to survive, right? We're being encouraged by our own brains to know the doubt is here for a reason. Just stop and listen. So, a lot of what I've seen people experience is resistance to this notion, right? I just want control. I want clarity. I want things to go smooth. I want to feel happy, happy. Um, I don't want to deal with self-doubt. Self-doubt is so annoying. It's so frustrating. And I think the truth of the matter is you're right. It is really frustrating, but it doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't mean it's wrong. Okay? So when you're trying to improve your relationship with yourself and take greater action in your life and achieve more desirable goals, the doubt is a natural part of the process. So, one of the things that I've learned to develop over time is when I have that fear and when I have that doubt or I'm questioning myself, I give myself full permission to be like, okay, this is a natural part of the process. This is not working against me. This is not trying to harm me, this doubt. This is helping me. Our bodies are helping us. Our bodies are working for our benefit. And by embracing that concept, by saying, okay, things are, and this is not like some affirmation shit, right? Where it's like, just think something positive and all the positive things will come. I mean, I'm not saying don't do that because, like, if that's your jam, I'm not going to hate on you about it. But it's more than just slapping on an affirmation or a positive thought to confront doubt. It's about truly getting to the heart of your belief system of, okay, if my brain and my body are working on my behalf, if my relationship with myself and my emotional health is in fact um, a, a positive and resilient one, then what role does this self-doubt play? Right? What is this about? What is it serving me to doubt in this moment? if at the end of the day things are working on my behalf? What's like the first instinct that comes up for you when you even just hear that? Okay, this doubt is working on my behalf. Any thoughts? For me, I definitely sense some frustration. I sense some frustration about the fact that that's a thing, about the fact that I even have to experience self-doubt as a means of going through the process. Because, like, don't I have enough to deal with? Can't I just also feel confident? Because it seems like everybody else is confident. So I'm frustrated. I'm comparing myself to others. But if ultimately this doubt is useful, well, what the hell do I do with that? I'm going to tell you. Isn't that what we're here for? Is for me to give some solutions, right? Not just normalize everything that everyone's experiencing that's hard and frustrating. Um, the key is not second guessing yourself all the time and to be able to embrace this notion of, okay, self-doubt is helpful, self-doubt is useful, is to really look at the possibility that today alone, is an opportunity to try to see if the doubt is real or not, right? So you're going to test it out with yourself a little bit. Just today. This is the mindset I want you to put yourself in. Every day is a new opportunity to test out whether or not that doubt is true, is useful, or is in fact nonsense. If our brain is protecting ourselves and we are in alignment, right? Like we're supporting our own health and well-being, and our brain wants us to be successful, then just today, what is this self-doubt doing? Is it true? Do I need to question myself just today about this one thing? So let's use maybe like an example. I recently had to take my car in the other day, which is quite literally my least favorite thing to do. I think ever. This is why I tend to lease cars because I don't like dealing with the car. And I'm sure people will tell me what a waste of money that is and all kinds of different opinions and judgments about me preferring to lease cars. And that's cool. That's cool. Like, but other people do because clearly there's a business of leasing cars that are beyond just me, Jenna Marr. But anyway, when I have to do like tire changes and oil changes and state inspections and all that stuff, like the normal things, easy things to deal with a car, right? I have an irrational frustration, sometimes fear, sometimes like reaction to, oh no, like because I don't really know anything about cars. What if I mess something up? Or what if they're going to find something in the car that I'm going to have to like deal with? How am I going to deal with? These are the self-doubts that come up immediately, every single, like every 6 months, right? Whenever the light dings at me that tells me I have to do something with the car. Immediate irrational doubt. So, anyway, I was driving to Pennsylvania like couple weekends ago, and in the middle of the drive, the light like dinged of, you're due for service. And my mind went to like, oh no, what if something's gonna happen? I still have like so many more hours of driving to do. What if something happens like mid-drive, right? So I'm all of a sudden like doubting my car, doubting myself, I'm doubting logic. I'm like not doing anything useful. It's just there, it's running rampant. I'm driving, thinking all of these thoughts. Okay. Self-doubt on steroids, like completely taking me out of the moment and instead flooding my head with a bunch of nonsense that isn't true, but certainly feels true because it's there. The lovely thing about thoughts that they do. They feel true, but they aren't true. So if I were to utilize my own advice here, what I would have done in one, understanding that I have this like resistance towards dealing with cars. And two, being in this moment where the doubt is like flooding me, right? Of can my car make it? Can I make it? Can I figure it out? What if I have to pull over? Can like the Geico person or the AAA people that I have to call like handle whatever's going to happen with the car? All this nonsense in my head. If I were to instead just be in that day choose to be present and actually confront the self-doubt, I would have said something to myself like, isn't it so great that cars tell you when they need help? Aren't we so lucky to live in a world of technology where the car is going to just like tell you exactly what it needs? I could have said that in response to the doubt in my head about whether or not I was going to make it in my drive through Pennsylvania. Did I? Definitely not. But I could have, in which case that would have served me well. And that's why I'm sharing it with you guys, right? Because when I am in most alignment, most authentic, empowered place, most trusting of myself, most knowing that my brain is helping me, not hurting me, I can see that, oh my God, this is great that my car's letting me know that it's going to need some help at some point. And do I have time? This is when you're confronting the self-doubt. Do I, in fact, have time to deal with it? Just stay in the present moment. Stay in that day. Answer. Answer your own question to yourself. Okay, doubt, you're coming and you're flooding me. You're telling me that there's a problem. Let's just like look at it today, this very moment. I'm driving still. Everything's fine. I know I have this like thing about cars. I hate dealing with it. I hate having to like stop my flow to address my car. And by the way, I know you guys are going to send me like memes and and information about all the cars now that you don't have to like go to the car dealership and sit there. And I'm totally sure that you're right about these things, but I'm still a little bit back in another century of how I deal with my car. And so I did in fact go and sit at the car dealership for like 2 hours and get a lot of phone calls done um, when I actually did address the car. But back to, okay, this moment, right? So we're going to be in the present moment confronting the self-doubt directly. This is what I want you to start practicing. Okay, is something actually going to happen with the car? I don't know. Do I have a belief system that makes me adverse to dealing with cars? Yes. Do I sense that anything bad is happening with the car? No. Am I so grateful that it just dinged at me and told me that it has needs? Yeah, I'm so grateful the car can communicate to me that it has those things. So that staying in the present moment is just pulling out the facts from the doubt. And that's the intervention. That's what I want you to start understanding how to do. The sooner that you can know that one, your brain and your body is working on your behalf. Two, get to the present moment, present day, today. Drown out all the noise. I don't need to worry about whether or not I'm going to keep this car, like when the lease is up. I don't need to worry about whether I'm going to buy it out. I don't need to worry about the next car, if I should be switching to electric cars or, how much cars are going to cost. Like, do you see how things can spiral when we lean into the self-doubt, but we don't insert present day? I could go down all kinds of spirally thoughts if I just let it go. But when we cap it at present day, okay, body's working on my behalf, stay in the present day. All right, doubt, let's go. What are you telling me? Today, you're telling me I have to probably make an appointment to get my car serviced. Something that I hate to do. Both of those things are true. Is there anything else there that's flooding my head? Is there anything else about this doubt that's coming up that I should be aware of today? Well, the car seems to be operating fine. I could probably ask someone who knows more about cars. I could like chat GPT that shit and see what I should be doing. Or I could call a friend, or I could like, I don't know, call an auto person, who would know more if I needed more information. I didn't, in fact, need that much more information. This was like such a simple moment with the car. It was not actually a problem. Just my mind made it a problem, as I'm sure you have experienced as well, because we're all humans. And that's why this podcast exists, is because we all have similar things happening in our head. My mind made it a problem. My mind was offering all this doubt as to whether or not like my day was going to be all right. But the facts in the present moment, believing that things are working on my behalf, was able to readjust and be like, okay, so grateful that the car is telling me info. I can make an appointment. I hate making appointments. I can get over that. Bada bing, bada boom, bada boom. I finished out my drive through Pennsylvania. As soon as I got back, I made an appointment. I begrudgingly spent the 2 hours there. I was annoyed. And I had to choose as to whether or not I was going to be annoyed that day because that was just how it was going to go. And instead, I wanted to be productive. I was productive. And the doubts and the fears as to whether or not something bad was going to happen with my car were able to be at least lessened by just allowing fears are there to work on my behalf, stay in the present day. Still don't have an answer for how I'm going to deal with cars for like the rest of my life, but that's okay because today I don't need to have that answer. So, do you see how that can be really helpful to kind of like chop up the doubts? That's the goal, is we want to chop them up into smaller, more manageable bits. If the thought's working on my behalf, like I don't want to get into a car accident. I don't want something bad to happen to me or anyone else in my car, right? So that's how this doubt is working on my behalf to alert me. But present day, stay in the present moment, no, like nothing really bad is gonna happen. I can totally address this even though I'm frustrated and even though I don't like it. So, this is how we chop up these thoughts that help have us second guessing ourselves all the time. So, is there another example that you can think of in your life that is sort of causing a lot of doubt, causing a lot of insecurity, that you notice that you kind of spiral out and go further down the rabbit hole than you need to be going? Is that happening for you also, that you can apply these principles? Our brain is meant to protect us and help us stay alive and survive. We can stay in the present moment and look at the facts. The fact is this, this, and this today. At a later point, when you're not as flooded with self-doubt, you can start addressing the other pieces of the puzzle. Like, if I really needed to think about my relationship with cars and my relationship with how to deal with them and whether I'm being most cost effective, most environmentally effective, which matters to me, most time effective, right? Or even just if I wanted to prioritize my own peace of mind, that I didn't want to have this like beef with cars anymore, right? If that became a priority, that I wanted to achieve the outcome of having a better relationship with cars, if that's where my like gut and my authentic self was taking me, that I really wanted to address that, then when I was calm and not flooded with all the doubtful, shitty thoughts, I could probably make a plan about how I wanted to deal with cars. Until like, well, I still don't really have a desire for that, so I'm gonna probably keep leasing cars and probably keep dealing with it the way that I am. But at least I can use these other principles to handle it in the moment, right? Like I can calm myself down in the moment, know what to do next. When I want to address the larger issue, that's where I can use some of these other principles around sort of taking the greater picture, giving myself permission to live the life I want to live, and then going all in. I'm being like, I'm gonna buy an electric car. I'm gonna buy a type of electric car that aligns with my values. I'm gonna buy it from a company that aligns with my values. I'm gonna spend X amount of money. I'm gonna pay it off in X amount of time. Whatever it is that one wants to do, right? So that's what I find so interesting about being able to use these concepts is it doesn't matter what we're talking about, right? Like I'm talking about some silly example of like sitting at the Honda dealership. But you could be thinking about anything that you want to be doing next and that you're noticing that these doubting thoughts and these like overthinking spirals are getting in your way. Can you give yourself the gift to start thinking in a way that everything's going okay? Like no one's out to get you. No one's out to stop you from achieving your goals. Can you get out of your own way? And can you address some of the doubting thoughts enough to give yourself your power back to then say, present moment, today, this is how I'm going to handle it. This is honestly what I wish for you guys, right? And the whole community and everyone, right? Is that we're increasing our self-awareness of some of the thoughts that are perpetrating the stress and the anxiety in our life? And can we be clued into them enough to say, I don't want to deal with those anymore. I don't believe them. They're not even based in fact most of the time. Therefore, I want to open myself up to living in a more authentic way, to be aligned with my goals, and to like go after the things that I want in my life. And I'm not going to let the fact that I have like doubting, scary, anxious thoughts stop me from doing that. I'm excited because soon we're going to start talking to a couple special guests, guys, about how it is that they're living their authentic life and how they too have some stories to overcome barriers, burdens, doubtful thoughts, influences from others, upbringing concepts, all the things, right, that we're all experiencing. And I can't wait to start sharing some stories with you of how people have come to find what their authentic voice is and what their authentic life is. And we're going to sit back and have some inside the actor studio moments. Um, So that's coming up soon. I can't wait to share with you guys. As always, I hope you're checking out theauthenticitymindset.com. I hope that you're liking what you're seeing in the community membership there, in the platform, in the masterclass that is available at theauthenticitymindset.com, is a whole 6 module course around education and understanding how to delve even deeper into some of these concepts that help you improve your relationship with yourself, take more action, feel more aligned with who you want to be, and making sure that you're understanding the skills and steps to be able to execute that. We can't just be our authentic selves by nature of like waking up in the morning, right? Like we all have to get to a point of realizing, okay, there's steps I have to do. There's maintenance that I have to do to be working on my mind and my heart and my emotional sense of self. I have been through that journey. I have been through the resistance of not wanting to have to believe that that work has to be done. I have been through life circumstances that have caused tremendous conflict and pain within me, and feeling lost and uncertain about who I was anymore. And that's really where all of this has come from, right? This platform, this podcast, the program, the whole thing that we're doing here, right? This whole business is about being able to offer inspiration and enlightenment to people because I have been there myself. I have had life experiences. It I'm getting to the vulnerable part. Okay, lean into it, Jen. Lean into it. It's okay. I have had to go through experiences and relationships in my life that have tested my capacity to believe in myself in ways that I truly wasn't sure that I was going to get to the other side of. And what I taught myself was that my willingness to live in love, in light, in alignment with who I believed I could be, regardless of even if I was showing up differently, even if I was like pissed at myself because I didn't like, you know, how my mind was operating and how my behaviors were showing up, or maybe if I was getting defensive and angry, all that shit, right? It was totally happening in a certain period of my life. Um, that if I wanted it to be different, I would have to really double down on understanding and getting to the heart of all of these skills. And it's what inspired my work to become a therapist. It's what's inspired my work as a parent. And I really take the time and I take seriously appreciating how my mind is operating and how I'm showing up to people. And at the end of the day, that is the legacy. That's all I have, right? Is I'm gonna know whether or not I gave my all in being the type of person that I wanted to be, regardless of any of the thoughts, any of the judgments, or any of my own sort of spirally roadblocks that were getting in my way. I have to be the one who decides at the end of the day if I'm good with it and if it feels authentic to me. So just know that I get it. Just know that I've been there and I am still working to be the most aligned version of myself that I can be. And I hope that some of these little tips and tricks kind of chip away and help you also uncover, okay, well, I can try her present moment thing. I can try the whole like self-doubt is there for a reason and it's helping me. And what are the facts today? I can try that. I can try it today and see if it helps. And if it helps a little, that's awesome. That gives you a little bit more space to take one more step and one more step, which is how I've figured it out too. So I'm excited for all the adventures that people can go on with some of this clarity in their mind. I'm excited to start talking to some people about their life stories. And, there's more that's going to come from me as well. I'm chipping away at my own hesitancy and fears about being vulnerable and sharing as we go along. And I've given myself permission to kind of go at the pace that feels right for me as you all get to know me as well. So it's exciting, it's scary. But that's what we're here for, right? We're here to be able to put ourselves in the position of living the type of lives that feel joyful, aligned, passionate, helping each other. We are in this together. So come check us out, authenticitymindset.com, all the community things. And if you don't, that's also cool. See you on Instagram, see you online. Just have an awesome day. Okay, bye. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you found something that feels right for you. Remember, while I am a psychotherapist, I am not your psychotherapist. So if you're looking for therapy, make sure you find a licensed mental health provider in your area. And I guess like and subscribe because that's what they do these days. We want more people involved, right? Go get it. See you next time.